everyone, this is Dee. Okay, so now we're going to talk about, I forgot to take this off. We're going to talk about the for balance for the stage of development, the balance for the men. So for this one, so we covered the page already. Now we're going to cover the Prince energy. So the Prince is the counterpart to the aspect of the stage that is the mother for the women. So men and women and those stages need different things altogether, and so you start seeing a theme here where the women need something entirely different and the men need something else. So the Prince, if you think about the Prince, like if you put in real terms of, you know, Prince, King and Kingdom, whatever, the Prince is now in a stage where he's becoming and he's coming into his own. He is trying to figure out where he is in the ladder and in the territorial prospect of his world, pretty much. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly. And you would see the Prince is could sometimes be very abrasive. They want to go to war. They want to conquer. They want to conquer because they are in a place where they're trying to expand their territory. They're still in the process of learning how to govern or looking up to the king, you know, and still seeking the approval of the king, but at the same time having the wherewithal to actually take decisive action, and they would have responsibility and what have you. Now how does that fit in like a day-to-day world of modern society? That when you are in that phase, again, read that book that I mentioned. It's gonna go into details on that. It's gonna make it even more clear. It's so well done that it's already well done there. So if you want to get the complete 100% definition of everything, just use those resources. Anyway, in a day-to-day life of the average man who is in that Prince stage, this man is still trying to figure out, and it's a long phase, he's still trying to figure out where he fits in the world of men. This man, he's, for example, if I was to stage it in like college, this person had already figured out what major they are in. They actually went to college and then they're graduated. Now they're in the world, working on their field and climbing the corporate ladder. And within that Prince stage is like the same thing with the other stages I explained for women, as it is for me. There are stages within the stage. If you are an early Prince, it might look like somebody who just doesn't really know where he fits in the world. It's somebody who doesn't really know how to do anything. This person, maybe the guy who doesn't even know what his purpose is, or maybe it's the guy who doesn't know what career path he needs to choose. He's still in the system of trial and error, still trying to figure out what fits for him, still, you know, trying different things. You know, let me open this business over here. Let me see what would work for me. Let me see what career. Let me take those classes and see. Let me try investing. Let me try, you know, computer science. Let me try different things, because they're still borderline. Like remember the page, different stages of the page is like it is for the woman. There's the child version of that. There's the young adult version of that, and the adult version of that is the same for the page. So there's the page, there's the child version of that, who's just, you know, curious and venturing into the world, right? Who's not really aware of how his action, you know, impact himself and others. You know, that he's got to have a couple of scraped knees and a broken arm to realize, yeah, I probably shouldn't climb that tree carelessly. I probably need to figure out where I'm putting my feet, or maybe I should try to go to the gym and have one of those climbing wall and have harness around me, so if I fall, I'm not gonna break something, I'm just gonna bounce around. That sort of thing. You're starting to learn safety, but that's a very crucial step, you know. And as a young adult, you're still gonna try new things, you're gonna be courageous, but balance for you there as a young adult in that stage is to you've actually have a good understanding of safety now. You could do those things, you could take the risk. You know, you're going to jump out of this airplane, but you'll make sure you have a parachute on. Versus if you're like the child page who, you know, might actually make the mistake of jumping out the airplane without a parachute, because you know you don't have such awareness of safety. You haven't been hurt enough. You haven't been having a busted lips and busted ribs enough for you to understand. So you're still in that learning phase, but you're doing this by trial and error. So an early prince is still coming off of that page stage and entering that princehood. So pretty much you still, like, if you know, if you're an early prince, if you're the adult who still don't know what career, you still can't figure out how to keep a job, you still, you know, you still can't figure out how to make money, you don't have an activated masculinity where you could go for the thing, or you still don't have courage where you actually even take the risk. You can't, you're not actually you're not knowing how to go and ask for that promotion, right? Because you don't have that yet well established. So if you're in that middle stage phase for the princehood, then you actually know what you want. You actually figure out what it is for you, and you're working at it. This when you are in the builder phase. You know, that's when you do create that business, and it also looks somewhat similar when a woman is in that masculine energy, trying to, if you're a woman having to provide for yourself, you will find yourself having a lot of similarity with that prince stage, because yeah, you're a woman, but you do not have that softness waiting for you where you could lean back in your femininity. You're still having to be in that masculine role when you're making it happen for you in the world. All right, I've had to be in that phase, and phase is kind of the same for women, but I'm just speaking here for the typical man who is the masculine energy man who is becoming into himself. And when I was referring to the other energies, I was for the women, I was speaking to the typical feminine woman who is in her feminine energy, let's say 70% of the time, because nobody's ever there 100% of the time. It's not realistic. All right. Okay, so yeah, so you actually have the business and you're working towards something. You are the builder now. You become the builder man who's building a career, who's climbing the corporate ladder, who's getting that money. And women go to the same phase, I would say, because for a woman to actually be successful in that energy, and they have to embody that prince energy. So you see the correlation, because there was a time, you know, after I had gone to school and I was divorced and I was, you know, yeah, I was the maiden, but in aspects of life when it comes to money, I was embodying that prince energy, because, well, I was climbing, I was working, and I was making money, I was saving money, and I was building my finance, you know. So there's a lot of correlation with men and women, but it's more specific. I'm speaking specifically here for the men, since I have that 40% of you male watching my videos. I didn't know so many of you were watching, so now that I know that you exist, you're out there, I'm trying to also slowly but surely cater to my male audience as well, a little bit, you know, as much as I feel guided to do so. Anyway, so in that prince energy, this man is not necessarily in the mode where yeah, I'm trying to, you know, not necessarily. In that middle phase or early phase of manhood, this is the man, if your woman is talking to you and, you know, you're trying to bring that marriage talk, he's gonna tell you, I don't think I could provide for a family at this time. I'm still trying to figure out who I am. I'm still, I don't really know who I am in the men's world. I'm still trying to find my seat at the table. I can't necessarily come here and have wife and children. I can't provide yet, because I haven't mastered that side of me that could provide. I'm not there yet. This man, if they are at the later stage of their manhood, of their princehood, this man is having a good steady career, but they don't feel like they arrived. They're still climbing, and at that point, sometimes they might feel in a phase where they could actually provide for the family and want the wife and kid. But understand, this man will not be available for you. Yeah, he will be there. Yes, he'll provide for you, but he's not available mentally, energetically, because while he's provide for you, his thing is, I'm doing all this for my family, so I need to be out there. So for when you're in that later stage, you know, of princeship, of princehood, you might actually be in a position because you've already climbed the corporate ladder. You're climbing now. You're building that business, but you don't think you've hit your mark yet. You know, but you actually know what the purpose is. You actually, your arrow is set in a different direction. You are following your compass now because you know which direction to take. You're just walking decisively and an increment to get to that goal, but you are purpose driven at that point because you know the prince is like, okay, how do I expand my territory? Because the more I expand, the bigger that I become, and I could see myself becoming the king now. Okay, so in that phase, the man will be about his money. Yeah, he will want you to be the girlfriend. So if you're looking to get married in the early phase of prince or middle prince, this man may not want to be interested in marriage. Not that he's a bad man, but at that phase, he doesn't have time for. He wants a girlfriend, somebody. He wants a booty call. He wants a friend with benefit because he just want to be able to, like, you know, after I'm done with my day. Oh, okay, the day was stressful. Who do I call now for a little bit of fun? And that would be you, or several of women. He might have a rep sheet of people he could call for that kind of service because that's what you'd be for him at that point. He's not interested in actually being with someone steady because honestly, even though most men are not able to articulate that, you know, they, and a lot of times men appear to have bad intention trying to take advantage of a woman is because they are not very good at articulating that, hey, well, what I really need. Actually, some men will tell you in the face, but the women sometimes you would pretend that you didn't hear that. You think you would convince the man after you'd be nice to him that would change his mind. No, the man is usually very well aware of what his need is. It's the women that usually is in a state of illusion, not knowing exactly what the moment requires. So if you are looking for something different, the wise woman would know to say thank you and move along. But if you're the maiden or you just not knowing, anyway, there's a whole dating series that I will actually go that would explain this process a little better to understand what a man need at different stage if women are watching this. But anyway, so that's a little bit about the prince energy. Hopefully the men and my audience would appreciate that bit, and I advise the ladies to watch it too. You might learn a whole lot about these stages, so you know the person you want, what is okay for, what feels okay for you. Are you okay to build with somebody? You know, if that's the case, but you know what the man's gonna be more focused on his career, and you'd be with the kids alone, you know, and because you're the mother at this point, you know, but you're the mother doing most of the work because the man is busy making money to provide for you because that's his idea of doing that. Anyway, so that is all for the prince energy, and I will come back with the king. All right, bye.